Hey y'all, welcome back. We are doing a lot of work both on the homestead today, the homestead property, as well as at the house we currently live in, because Louisiana decided this year to participate in winter. Really wasn't expecting it just because it's been so kind of mild, but we have a winter storm coming. Actually coming tomorrow, and then it's already being forecasted next weekend for us to have snow in our area. Snow. It's 2 years in a row. I've lived in Louisiana for 40 years. I don't know if I've ever seen snow in Louisiana consecutively 2 years in a row. So I don't know what's going on. I should specify Southeast Louisiana. So we are out here. We need to basically winterize or prepare for winter and protect whatever we can. Now, at the homestead property, that's really just 2 of our trees in the orchard. Most of our trees are hardy. This is a satsuma, but these are very specifically Arctic blast satsuma varieties, which should be fine down to, I think it's 10 degrees, which we're not going to get quite that cold. What we're really concerned about is our lemon tree. We've already had to cover him a few times just to try to keep it alive, as you can see. My little Brussels sprout experiment. I really need to come out and water. You see, I got some Brussels in there. But the other tree that we're worried about today is the navel orange. Now, I have not been covering this guy, and I probably should have been covering this guy. He's looking a little iffy at best, but we're going to take care of him today. So it's windy out here. The temperature is still dropping. I think the low tonight is supposed to be in the 20s, the low 20s. I don't know. It changes every time we look at the forecast. I think last it was like we're supposed to get down to 21 tonight, wind chill 10. Just insane numbers for where I live. But we went around the property and just grabbed whatever we could to try to keep these tarps in place. But I am concerned about something, and I'll show you what that is. So some bits and bobs we found that are pretty heavy. I don't think this is going to fly away. We kind of took all the excess, tucked it in around one side, and kind of really laid that heavy. But what I'm concerned about is this holding water. We are supposed to get a good bit of rain to push through with this storm, which is why we did not pre-water the roots. That's one of the things I read, was to pre-water the roots, but I am concerned. So we'll have to come out and keep an eye on that and make sure that these don't collapse in. Okay, so I'm back home and we finished wrapping the trees. Hopefully the water doesn't accumulate. We're gonna have to go out and check them. But now I need to winterproof this yard. Does anybody know what this is? It popped up randomly in my yard and it's kind of neat. I don't recognize it. I've never seen this before in my yard, so I'm trying to understand what it is. Now, most of the things growing in my yard right now can handle the cold. I will say this, I am going to harvest all of my peas back there because when we had the snow, my peas took damage and died. We're not supposed to get snow this weekend, but I really don't want to risk it. And the purple broccoli was already harvested ones. So we're going to come and get all of that. This guy, I think with the extreme changes in weather we've been having, I mean, we're talking going from the 60s and 70s to the 20s. And we've been playing that game now for a few weeks. It looks like he wants to bolt on me anyway. So since he looks like he wants to bolt, we're going to take him as well. I think the cabbages will be okay. I hope the cabbages will be okay. None of them are really headed enough for me to take them. I think, is that caterpillar poop? Ugh. The peas actually look like, I'm looking at the pods, some of them look like they've already taken some frost damage. So these are the Lincoln peas. See these little specks? I noticed that after the last freeze we had. So I'm going to get all of my delicious peas. These are so good. They're so sweet. Look how healthy these peas are, these pea plants. Oh, I hope I don't lose them, y'all. You can see this guy. It's really puny. I'm actually going to leave him. He's going to flower, but in a couple weeks, it'll be really warm again, and the bees will be out, and they will go all over it. Man, the snapdragons just look so good. They look like they just want to explode with growth. I'm pretty sure everything I read said my celery will be good. If I'm wrong, let me know. I still have a couple of hours to fix this by the time y'all see this video. Now, this purple broccoli, I'm going to go ahead and grab as well. The main head, I think I'll take. Now, one thing I've heard about cauliflower is that with temperatures below 25 degrees for any extended period of time, their heads that they're forming don't typically like that. So I'm actually going to attempt to provide a little bit of cover by clipping its leaves over it. It's not going to provide a whole lot of protection, but that's what I read. I'm giving it a shot. Will that work? Covering it, offering it any type of protection? I really don't know, y'all. This is what happens when people in the South get hit with winter weather that we just don't know how to handle. If you have any tips, if you live where it gets cold regularly, tell me what I should be doing, because we're going to have several days in the 20s. So it should be interesting. So for my hydroponic systems, in order to keep my systems from freezing, I'm just going to make sure that the reservoir is full, as full as it can be, which this is pretty close. And I'm going to set it to run every 20 minutes. That way, nothing will freeze. You see the lines here. I did this. Oh, it's actually running right now. See that back there? I did this last year when we got the 10 inches of snow and everything worked fine. Now these guys, I also need to come out and make sure that they're topped off. They're also going to run every 20 minutes to hopefully prevent them from freezing solid. I don't know if that's going to work with them. I don't think I had these producing last year when we got the snow. So again, I'm just going to keep these guys filled as much as possible. It's been a couple days since I filled them. I tell you what, Cajuns know everything about heat and humidity. We don't know anything about snow or working when our hands are this cold. Whew, this is like another level. sad because all of my like that's a volunteer eggplant coming back. You could see all of the peppers were tricked into thinking it was spring. They're all going to go. I'm going to lose everybody again. Everything on this side of the yard should be able to handle what's coming. Except I will say this, my self-watering buckets, because there's a water reservoir at the bottom of the bucket, these did freeze solid when we had the snow last year. They'll probably freeze solid again. But because the things that are growing there can kind of handle it, I did not have a loss of plants last year. It's a gamble. I could try to move them into my greenhouse, but I don't really have a lot of space in there. So you can see coming into the greenhouse here, I don't have a lot of space. I've obviously seed started here, and I have already my peppermint stick balsam in here. My worms are in here to stay nice and toasty and not lose their production. I do have a volunteer tomato growing up out of a crack in the ground, not in a bag. These bags have wilt. I don't know how he's still alive. I've got red beans growing. You can see beans growing. Squash. Peppers I'm still trying to work on. And my frost sensitive plants in the back here. This is some trees we bought for the homestead, but we knew if we put them in the ground, we were going to have to go out and cover them with, the cages and everything. So we just decided to keep them in the greenhouse until this few cold snaps pass. And my coleus, the channel mascot, it's flowering. All of my pink dandelions need to go out. This is more snapdragons, a different variety that needs to go out. But I don't think it's right to put them out right now. I know I'm going to have losses. It is what it is when the weather is as unpredictable as it is here this time of year. This is what it is. Now, if I had tomatoes and peppers out here, I would have tarped this whole thing, 100%. That would have happened, much to my husband's dismay. But he knows we've done it because we have to plan out so early here, typically at the end of February, early March, we have to plan out. Otherwise, your production is just not going to be there. And if you saw my seed drama video, you know that I'm already having issues with production. So we will do what we have to do in that case. In this case, with the winter vegetables, because I know they're only going to be allowed to grow in here for the next couple of weeks, if I have to take the loss on that, I just will. I never get as much production out of winter veg as I do spring and summer vegetables. So, thank you all for hanging out with me. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're into gardening and homesteading content, I encourage you to subscribe. And until next time, stay blessed.